Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit. Oh, I had that open and I didn't want it to. I'll talk about that more later. Oops. I'm here to build a model kit, and of course I'm here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can apply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, this is your chance to lurk. I give you permission just to hang out and not say anything. My apologies for the image that was blasted on my face. That is a promo image that I will share in a moment. It's a Monday. The plan is to work on the Vidar, which was sent to me. It was a gift. So thank you very much to DSHS for that gift. I appreciate you very much for that. But yeah, we got ourselves the Gundam Vidar Master Grade. Came out this year. It is the first Master Grade in quite some time. There have been some full mechanics, but it's been years since we had a new Master Grade, so it rules that we got one, and I'm working on it. I should also say, just right off the bat, I'm trying something a little different on stream. You may never notice it at all. You might notice it. I actually think it'll probably just be more noticeable on Tuesdays when I'm playing video games, and won't be as noticeable in this particular thing. But I have bumped the frames per second. We are now currently at 60 frames a second instead of 30 frames. Hello, Lashbrook. So I've basically been doing like fake HD. I've been doing like it wasn't 720, but like I've been kind of fucking around with it and cheating a little bit. This was like, I wasn't doing 1080 60 for real. Yeah, I was fooling around with it. I don't know how that's going to work live with my current setup, and I don't know how that's going to work with my local recording. My hope is that the stream as it is will just be smoother and nicer, and especially with the overhead camera will just look better. And then what will probably happen is my video, my local recording will just be will take longer to upload, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. If that takes longer to upload, that's totally all right. But yeah, that's the hope anyway. I don't know if you'll notice a difference at all. I don't know if there will be a difference. I know that like my CPU usage is up a little bit, and that's fine. Let's go to the overhead camera. But I don't know. I have no real actual idea if this is going to change anything. But yeah, my CPU usage is slightly higher than it's been previously. But that's the hope anyway. We're trying out 60, which is very silly for me to say. But it's true. I've recorded my my Kuma Baer videos are in 1080 60. Those are done in 60 frames. Those recordings look like that. But my other stuff has been 30 frames just because it was a stability issue, really. But I think we've ironed out a lot of stuff, and hopefully it'll just be better. Hopefully it'll be a better, smoother experience. I don't know. I don't have I don't have like a solid, like, this is definitely going to work mentality about this, but we're trying it out. I don't know. It's a Monday. Hope you're doing well out there. But yeah, if things get wonky on stream, just give me a shout about it. My hope is it won't. It'll just be it'll just be the stream as is, and it won't feel weird or anything. We'll find out. We'll find out how it goes. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this is all gonna work out and be cool. I'm excited to see how Hearthstone looks tomorrow. Like, Hearthstone's like, I don't know. It's not like a barn burner. Like, it's not a system hog or anything. They want you to play it on your phone. Hey, Lord Crashington. And also, it should remember that I'm doing everything in 1080p on these computers because I got the 3 monitors set up here. And these are all 1080p monitors. I'm not doing 1440, I'm not doing 8K or 4K or anything. So it can only do so much. But I hope that my capture in 60 looks better. I hope that ends up being true. Because that would be nice. Oh, I don't need this piece. This piece you need to use later. I need G. I need G1. Number 3. We're putting armor on our kit. Again, if I wanted to, I could follow the steps and do the entire inner frame myself first and then put on all the armor. But I don't know. I like doing panel lining along the way. So let's just do it segment by segment. And then we'll feel good about it. One of the disadvantages, well, it's not a disadvantage. We're almost done with the chest here, so we'll get in the head before the second hour, which is great. That is just great news for me because you may remember that tiny stickers, especially around the head, I'm not great with. I've just never been great with them, so if I can avoid that, that would be pretty rad. And then the piece I snapped out that I didn't need yet, I do need now. And that'll be here. And once this snaps in, our chest is done. It is. Our chest is complete. We have built the whole chest on here, or with our full chest. Which means that it's time to panel line. Now, obviously, not much to panel line. A lot of this is going to get covered up. But we can still do this piece, and then the blue as well. We can do the white and the blue, so we'll get our markers that we need to make that happen. Man, I watched so much wrestling over the weekend. I still watched the wrestling last night. Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling did 2 shows in Houston, Texas, and then yesterday they did a show in Dallas, Texas. Unfortunately, the live stream of the Dallas show didn't work out. They knew that it would be troublesome, so I haven't seen that show yet, but I did watch the first of the Houston shows. Even though it was a long wrestling weekend, I still wanted to watch a little bit of my favorite wrestling promotion, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, and it was delightful. It was so fun. They had some local sponsors that Tokyo USA, which is like an events company based in Houston, ran the thing. They have like a store on University of Houston's campus. And they run, or University of Texas at Houston, I can't remember. And then they run like events. They have like a partnership with a Maid Cafe promotion, and they do a bunch of events around Japanese stuff. So they promoted TJPW and brought them over, and they got local local businesses. The premier Houston Asian Market, Japanese grocery chain. Sponsored them and got a big pop from the crowd, which I found delightful. That people were just like, "Oh yeah, I know that place." But yeah, they got a bunch of good. They got like Bandai has a division that focuses on gacha and like actual gacha machines and servicing those, and they got them to sponsor. And I was like, "That's pretty smart." And how do I know they got them as a sponsor? Well, 1, because they announced it, and 2, because the main event featured a bunch of gacha balls thrown on the ring, like you would, throw in glass or tacks, like thumbtacks or whatever, or in some nerdy circles, Lego. In this case, it was gachapon balls, and that was really, really funny. It was a good bit of business. They crunched real good. That was a really fun event. I was happy to see that. It sounds like it went real. TJPW, legitimately, for real, had their highest attendance ever at the Dallas show. They outsold their best shows for their January events, which are usually their biggest shows. They sold more tickets to the Dallas show than they did anything they've ever done before in their 13-year history. 11-year history. And that's fucking bonkers. That's crazy that their highest attended show is in Dallas, Texas, the day after All In. That's just crazy cool. Apparently they did very well with walk-up stuff because people who were still in the area for the weekend decided to come out. And then also Yuka Sakazaki and Miyu Yamashita being involved in a match announced last minute, but they knew ahead of time. For Ring of Honor, also probably helped people being like, oh, wait, Yuka's in town and she's doing this Dallas show. We should go to that. This piece doesn't seem want to stay on, and that is frustrating. So I don't know if there's a good way to get this to lock in. Like I need it to lock in. But it does seem to want to pop off. So I might be doing it wrong. We'll see if there's a good way to get this going. But yeah, it's a fucking cool as hell that they sold a lot of goddamn tickets to that show. I'm very happy for them. I have to watch Houston Night 2 because a friend of mine who is a VTuber was in the crowd, and he was a Wakana guy. They did some Wakana yells, and so I want to go and check that out because at a certain point I saw a clip unrelated to my friend Kip Saberfang. Someone else shared a clip of like a Wakana guy, and he's a Wakana person, but whatever. And this person in the crowd yells Wakana, and then yells Shino too, and I was like, that's my friend. I know who that is. I recognize that voice. And so they put up a clip on their YouTube, and I just left a comment. I knew it because I did know it. I haven't watched that full show yet, but I need to. It's just nice. It was a nice... Hey, I can say this because Hangman Adam Page won. It was a fucking nice wrestling weekend. I've said this in multiple Discords where there is a channel dedicated to wrestling, that if Hangman Adam Page had not won on Saturday, then I was going to take a break from AEW. I was going to just get caught up on DDT and Sendai Girls and maybe watch some Noah stuff. There's the G1's coming up. I could become a person that gets New Japan Pro Wrestling's website, like signs up and subscribes and watches New Japan Pro Wrestling World. I could watch the G1. Like, I could have done that. NetPrince says I was the same. I was going to give up on AEW for a month if Hangman didn't win. Yeah. Like, look, would I have proudly come back for Forbidden Door? Yeah, I would have come back in the lead up to Forbidden Door. But I would have taken time off. I certainly wouldn't be watching tomorrow or on Wednesday night if he hadn't won, because that would have just hurt my heart. It's just like, no, I don't want to go in for that. So yeah, I was like making plans of it, like, all right, well, I guess I could subscribe for, to New Japan for like a month and watch the show, and the G1, I could lose myself in that, and that'd be kind of neat. But no, I don't have to worry about that because they didn't do the bad thing. They did the right thing. And instead we got just a cool event. So that was nice. All right, I need G2 8. So let's figure that out. 30s. This is G2. So that's going to be 8. That's going to be this piece here. Okay. All right, so we got a sticker that's going to go on the back of that. That's going to be the back of the head sticker. So we're going to do our first sticker on this kit because we chose the cockpit that doesn't use stickers because I didn't want to bother with the one that did, because I'm never going to see that cockpit again. So I need sticker number 5, which is just this one. This is going to be small because it just goes like this. We could probably just keep the clear and not use the sticker, but I'll put it on. I'll get it on there. We don't like it. We don't like it. But yeah, I mean, it just comes down to it. Like, wrestling's good. I did also watch Goldberg's last match. I am a WCW teen. I don't want to say WCW kid because I'm a WWF kid. I watched wrestling when I was a kid with WWF primarily, and then I got out of wrestling for a while, but then the NWO started happening, and that seemed pretty cool, so I started watching WCW. But I was a teen at that point, so I don't call myself a WCW kid. I was a WCW teen. But I got into it. I was exactly the right age to think that Crow Sting was the fucking coolest, my friends. The only wrestling show I've ever been to was a WCW show. I have been to a few wrestling shows in my day. I would say that Chikara is probably the promotion I've seen the most. The most major promotion that I've seen is WWE. Because I've been to several house shows and a couple TV tapings, SmackDown and Raw. So that's the company I've seen the most. I went to a WCW house show, but I never saw a Nitro or Thunder. Get E out here. But yeah, so I was a WCW teen. I would watch, and then I would catch Raw occasionally, but I was way more interested in that. And eventually I got sick of the NWO just always winning, and then WCW got pretty fucking bad. But also I went to college, and I did not... So there were apparently college-age kids that got really into wrestling. Not at my school. None of my friends at the year I went to college were into wrestling. So I just kind of got out of the habit of watching. And then I moved to New York, and I didn't have cable. And I barely watched TV because I was very busy. And it wasn't for years later that I got back into wrestling. Partially because I started working with a group that was doing a comedy wrestling thing. High on comedy, low on wrestling. And then also because NXT was really good, and it was and like guys that I had seen on the indie scenes for years and years were getting hired. And I was like, wait, what? Oh, wait, no, I know that wrestler. Like wrestlers that I saw work for 50 people and a slice of pizza, you know? Like suddenly we're getting contracts, and it was remarkable. Like, you know, like yeah. I mean, I'd seen Bryan Danielson, you know, wrestle, so it wasn't the most surprising thing in the world. But like, Kevin Steen got signed. I gotta watch it. What? Wait, El Generico got signed, and he's not working under a mask. That's probably for the best. Okay, like yeah, it was just like a bunch of guys that I had seen and gals that I had seen up and down the coast. Suddenly were getting hired. Just like unbelievable. It was like, what? Well, okay. Oh, more Chikara folks are getting hired? Oh, cool. All right, yeah. I'll check in. That sounds great. That was me kind of coming back. I mean, I've been back for a while before NXT really kicked off. But yeah. So all that to say, I watched Goldberg's last match, not because I wanted to watch Saturday night's main event, because I don't particularly keep up with WWE all that much. I watched some of Evolution. There are wrestlers that I like that work there, and I like to watch them in matches. But I felt like I owed Teen Pat the opportunity to watch Goldberg's last match. And I thought that was pretty fucking fun. There was some chicanery and some you know, like nonsense there. I think Gunther sold probably a little too much to my liking, but like, I get it. I understand. And like, yeah, there was some shenanigans with his son. To me, the match was fine. The best part of it was the fact that Doug Dillinger, former head of security for WCW, who used to knock on Goldberg's dressing room and escort him to the ring, usually with police officers or security, did it. He came in and did that. He knocked on the door, and there was Doug Dillinger, and that made me happy. And then also the people escorting the ring were like his son and a boxer who's I don't know, or MMA fighter I don't know, Tom Lawler, who is Filthy Tom, who is a wrestler and MMA guy, and then also Ernest the Cat Miller was there, walk in, and I was like, wait, that's Ernest Miller. Hell yeah. That made me happy. Ernest the Cat Miller. A guy who came in to wrestling because he was the martial arts instructor for Eric Bischoff and Eric Bischoff's son. And Ernest Cat Miller had a good vibe about him. So he got brought in to be a martial arts wrestler. And then everyone found out that Ernest Cat Miller is fucking loud and boisterous and fun. And then he got to just keep doing stuff, which is great. We love it. All right, so I got to put some stickers on here. I can put stickers 1 and 2 on, or 3 and 4. And I get to decide which stickers I'm putting on. And I don't know which ones I'm going to put on. I don't know yet. I got to look at it. I'm glad Goldberg had security because he knows, who knows what could have happened to him without the cops escorting him to the ring. Lord Crashington, you got to remember, these police officers hired cops, security, were not there to protect Bill Goldberg. They were there to protect people from Bill Goldberg. He had an escort to protect everyone else from Goldberg. And then also, yes, maybe to protect him from his pyro, from all of that, from all the sparklers going off, perhaps. All right, so we can put on the eyes. We have 3 options here. We can put on the eyes that are just regular ass eyes. Oh, I got to put the face on. I got to put the face piece on first. Before I put that, I got to put the face piece. We got to lock the face in. So we need E30. So we have 3 options. Yeah, I mean, he got attacked with a cattle prod. That's how he lost the belt. It's crazy. All right, so we have 3 options. I keep saying that, but it's true. We can do just the stickers on these. We'll zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing here. We can do just the stickers and cover up this lovely plastic here. So just the eye stickers. We can do the eye stickers with black behind it, or we can do no stickers at all and just leave it like that. I am going to put on the sticker that has the black around it and see how that looks. And so I might keep that. Ooh, I do like that. Now, there will be more armor that goes on over this. And then what I can do is I can also put this on here. Once I take one off, all bets are off and it's done. But I can put this on to see how it looks. Yep, all right. I like the black around it. I like the black circle around it. I think that's going to look good. So I'll put this back. I don't think I'll ever use it again. And then we'll widen out here because I don't need that much of a close-up. So yeah, Goldberg's last match was great. It sucks. It's on YouTube if you want to hear his speech. It got cut off because you may have to remember Saturday night's main event airs on NBC and Peacock, and apparently NBC was just like, yeah, you can't go over, which makes sense because they're NBC. So it got cut off. But then the YouTube version, which is how people watched it internationally, that also got cut off. So that sucks. But it went up on their YouTube channel, so you can watch it in full. That was a bit of a shame. But apparently, that was not an intentional one last fuck you Goldberg. That was apparently a network issue, which is frustrating because you get the time to let the man say his goodbyes. That sucks. But all right, so we got our stickers here. I like how that looks. I like the clear already, the regular thing there, but we'll try that out. If I want to cut these stickers off and rip them off, I will. Now we're going to put some armor around here. We need H, so that's here. Some black armor around the face. Got to put all that on there. And then this will require very little panel lining, but we will do that. So yeah, long weekend of wrestling. It was good. I was happy. One update from the weekend. Adam Cole. We talked about how Adam Cole was supposed to be defending the TNT title, which is a secondary belt in AEW. He was supposed to be defending it against Kyle Fletcher. Instead, there was a 4-way fight for the new champion, and Adam Cole had given up the belt. And we didn't know what was going on with that. Since then, there has been a report from Fightful saying that Cole believed that Cole suffered from a concussion this week and was not cleared for wrestling. Perhaps it happened on Thursday. He had talked about not feeling particularly great, and so they did some tests. So they don't know for sure if he had a concussion, but he has like concussion-like symptoms certainly were present. And apparently it was something happened that week. We don't know exactly. It's clearly enough that they chose to be extremely cautious. Oh, no, Lashbrook. So that's the thing. Adam Cole was out for a really long time with a variety of injuries. He's had to take time off. Some of them have just been like, oh yeah, his leg. But he's also had issues where hasn't been. There was a period where we didn't know if Adam Cole was going to come back. Like he couldn't fly. It was he was basically grounded. His doctors wouldn't let him travel, and it looked like he might be done. So we don't know. We don't know the severity of it exactly. You know, these are the reports. He hasn't said anything. He hasn't released a statement other than like, you know, he talked on the show when he gave it a belt. But the fact that they didn't have him, the fact that they had him give up the title and instead of just doing an interim championship, which AEW has certainly done before, that they were like, no, let's just have him give up the belt and we'll crown a new champion, and then we'll figure stuff out and play it by ear. It is good. It's a good call instead of him trying to get back because there's, you know, storylines have stalled or something. Be foolish and silly to do that. So it's for the best. It is fucking unfortunate, of course. Adam Cole did release a statement. He didn't release a statement to the public necessarily, but he did release a statement to his Discord. I will say this. I'm going to say the word chugs a bunch, and it's going to sound weird. Please understand that is the name that the nickname he was given in Up Up Down Down that he continues to use for his live streams because he's a Twitch streamer, and he also does stuff with AW Games. So Chugs said on Discord, "Hey Chugs Army, I hope you all had a fantastic weekend, and I've been thinking of you all. I'm sure most of you heard, but just an update, I am going through some health issues at the moment. First of all, I just want to let you know that I am okay and safe. I can't thank you enough for all your love and support, Chugs Army. No one is better than you guys. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be around to stream for the next few days as planned. Let's see. Hopefully I'm feeling up for it. We can hop back on stream later in the week, but I'll absolutely keep you posted. Thanks always for understanding. I don't know what I do without the Chugs Army. From the bottom of my heart, thank you again. Hope everyone is doing great always. Love you all, miss you all, and see you soon." So, taking some time off, perhaps been or, you know, we don't know. Perhaps been recommended that he not stream. He did take time off from streaming at one point because the sensory stuff was not good for his recovery. So we don't know. I can't tell you exactly what's going on there. We wish Adam Cole the best. I hope he pulls through, and I hope his quality of life improves dramatically. Be that in the ring or not in the ring. I just hope that he gets better. Because he is, by all accounts, a top-tier human, really good dude. Nothing but love from the people that know him, that I know. So, hopefully he pulls through. All right, we got to put on a piece here, but I did want to give an update to that because there was a little bit of news, as I said. Some of it was backstage reporting, and some of it was a statement from him made to his Discord, which felt like, yeah, to share that. With the understanding that, like, him posting in his Discord meant that, like, if he had said, hey, don't share this, that would have been one thing, but since he knew that people would share it, so I don't feel terrible about quoting it. simply because he had to know that it would get out there because people are worried about him. You know, some people might be wanting to be salacious about it, but yeah. I'm sure most people just want to know how he's doing and what's going on. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about all right, so there's two bits of information out there that we want to talk about here about the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, which is the remake done by Iron Galaxy, which I have heard very positive things about coming out of its release and people getting hands on it. There have been some questions. First and foremost, hey, how come there's not a guy in the Canada level peeing? What happened to the peeing man? The guy that was peeing off the edge of the map. So in an interview with devs from Iron Galaxy, it was asked, hey, what's up? Where'd the pissing man go? And they were like, he's in the game. He's just got better bladder control now. And in fact, there is a better level. There is there's a pro goal where you help him hydrate. So apparently if you get water to him, that there is a goal for that. So they are keeping him alive in the game. He is in the game. He's just not pissing. So if you were like, no pee man, no deal, well, maybe you'll reconsider a bit. But if it's a deal breaker still, I understand. People have standards. That one is just very silly. Just be like, I love that somebody was just like, what happened to the pee man? Yeah, Jatsu, I don't know. But the guy in the Canada level who just pees the whole time apparently doesn't need to pee in public anymore. We all grow up. The other thing was, hey, so there is a Banjo Champion box in the game. This was not a thing that Iron Galaxy came up with. Banjo Champion, which is obviously a Guitar Hero parody, has been in the games before. It was in 1 and 2. So there is in the water park, there's a trash can that has a box for Banjo Champion, which you could say is them dunking on Neversoft. That's a harsh way to look at it. You could also say it is dunking on EA for what they did to Neversoft, and just the very idea that they were working on Guitar Hero and then they couldn't do it anymore. But most likely, Iron Galaxy is like, that was an error. We did not mean for that to happen. We're investigating. So probably what happened was they did the art for it and they were going to put some of it in there because, like I said, it's been in the games previously, and somebody thought it would be very funny to put in a trash can. Did they make that decision knowing that it would mean one thing and clearly be interpreted by people? Perhaps. But according to Iron Galaxy, they were like, shit. Well, no. What? No. We'll take it out in the next update. And then people were like, don't take it out. Basically, their statement was, we're investigating. We have the utmost respect for anyone who makes games. Thanks for mentioning it. We'll take it out in the next update. Basically, it sounds like somebody was having a laugh and people were like, oh, come on, dude. No, you can't do that. You can't do this shit. We're making Tony Hawk games. This ain't dive kick. You can't throw in random bullshit in this game. So, I don't know. Yeah, Banjo Champion was first seen in 1 and 2. Vicarious Visions threw it in there. And of course, they develop Call of Duty and Diablo games now. Just as an update of what Vicarious Visions is up to. Their support studio for big Activision titles. Hooray. All right, that's the end of the head. We can do some panel lining here on our blue armor. But yeah, the head is done. I'm going to look ahead. I'm just going to check to see if there's anything else that has to go on, or if I could just put this head on this chest, and I believe I can just do that. Or do you want me to wait? No, I can just do that. Yeah, all right, then I'll just do that. Before we move on to the arms, we'll panel line this, and then I'll put the head on there. Just using some black, using the black Gundam marker. Doesn't need much. There was a thing. I guess we'll talk about it. So the BBC was doing a thing on retro games, and they had a display there. And there was a Super Nintendo, and sticking out of the Super Nintendo was a Mario Brothers kart, Super Mario Bros. Kart, which is obviously an NES game. You can't, to give some charity. That's an old thing. And also, the NES was not a popular console, or the SNES really, was not a popular console in the UK. So you could be generous. But it's a fucking real flub. Also, in this photo of classic games, there is a Wii there, and people were like, I was like, no, the Wii is old and you're old. Sorry. Because it's true. Sorry. If I'm the one that breaks it to you and I'm the one where it clicks, the Wii is a retro console. So this was the BBC Breakfast interviewed Nick Poole, who's the head of the Association for UK Interactive Entertainment. Let's see. And yeah, they were doing a bunch of stuff that had been in The Guardian about nostalgia. They had a ZX81 or Z Spectrum, a Nintendo Wii, and a SNES with an NES cartridge in it. And apparently these were props that BBC put together for the interview. That's the whole thing, and people were like, everybody got mad. Everybody on the internet got mad. Or thought maybe the BBC was trolling. Somebody might be trolling. Oh, yeah. It doesn't. So the UKIE, the group that did it, on their LinkedIn were like excited about being on the BBC, and they didn't mention anything about it. So we're like, did they do it? Were they the ones who fucked this up? We don't know. Right now, we don't know who fucked this up. Maybe we'll get a statement and find out at some point. It was just a little bit of light business. And I wanted to include a little bit of light business until I get into the like fucking digging through Subnautica 2 nonsense. Who knows? Let me drink a little water here. Let's talk about Subnautica 2. So you may remember that some founders of the company what is working on Subnautica 2, Unknown Worlds, some of the founders had been let go, and then it was like, we're excited. Crafton was like, we're excited about what's going to happen here. We brought somebody in to make this work, and then people were like, you're delaying the game. And they're like, yeah, because it isn't good, and we're responding to feedback. And it was like, okay, but you delaying the game means you don't have to pay out to a bunch of people from Unknown Worlds because you're slipping the date. But it's not because they can't deliver it. It's because you said you don't want it then. Oh, no, but we're going to make that right. Well, okay, well, then also the founders are going to sue you. It's a whole lot. They're now suing about the dismissals. There's also, like, apparently the money that employees of Crafton would get, or employees, I should say, of Unknown Worlds, if the game did ship within the window, is between all of them $250 million. So, yeah. Um, so Charlie Cleveland wrote on Reddit last night um, that they're following a lawsuit after the publisher Crafton accused him and Mac McGuire and Ted Gill of failing to get Subnautica 2 ready for launch. Basically, there's been a lot of basically people were like, "Hey, why'd you fire these people?" And Crafton were like, "You don't understand. They suck shit, and everything. This game is bad. But don't worry, it's going to get fixed by the people that were making it because we took out the leadership, and therefore it's going to work." And people were like, "Is that true?" And they were like, "Yes." And then they were like, "What about the fact that you postponed it and payouts were supposed to happen? We're going to make that right. Do you have any other thing to say about that?" No. So it's great. This is why maybe don't sell your company to a big publisher. Now, 2022, you're still reeling from the lockdown. The pandemic, which is still happening. What was in full swing. $200 million for a company, for people that are like, yeah, we're going to buy you, but we're going to put your game out and you're going to be able to do what you need to do and we're going to support you and it's going to be great. Like, yeah, you say yes to that. I think you shouldn't be surprised when they're like, actually, get out of here. Sorry. Unknown Worlds was sold to Crafton in 2022 for $500 million. I said $200 million. I apologize. $500 million. And if the studio hits revenue targets this year, the founders were on track to get an additional $250 million payout, with a percentage of that going to rank-and-file developers of the studio floor. Delaying Subnautica 2's early access launch in 2026 makes hitting those goals basically impossible. Yeah, so even if it's because if it's in early access, you can sell the game in early access, but you can't do that if it doesn't go to early access, and therefore they're not going to hit their targets. And while the people, that money doesn't go to anybody. And yes, it's not like people who just worked there were going to make millions, but they were going to make some fucking money. And now they're not making that money. Because the rights holder and the publisher was like, actually fire these folks, fire the founders of the company. It's a mess. It's messy. Let's see. Okay. There are now alleged leaks of internal milestone review floating around online that paint a messy picture of the game's development timeline. It includes assets that Subnautica 2's early access version or assessment that was too content light to drive IP growth and expansion. I wonder who said that. Who was talking about IP growth? Perhaps it was a publisher. Called for 30% more content, including additional biomes, creatures, and narrative chapters. If accurate, it would lend credence to Crafton's recent claims, though for now, alleged leak remains unsubstantiated. And no one's commented on that leak is true or real or out there. I should say that the founders, who had all been fired from the company, said the game is basically fucking ready to go. And then Crafton did confirm the leaks over the weekend. And basically they're like, no, we're right. This game needed more time. Everything's going to be fine. And now again, there is a lawsuit happening here. I guess it should be noted, that this is just a messy thing, and we'll see what happens. There are about 100 people that currently work for Unknown Worlds. I hope they get to make the video game they've been working on. I hope it comes out. I hope it's good, and that Subnautica fans get Subnautica 2 and have a good time with it. Seems messy as shit right now. That's about it. But I did want to dive into it because I knew we could have talked about it on Saturday, but There was a lot of wrestling to talk about. And also, I knew that there'd be more stuff once we hit Monday. So we did have some more there. And then basically, there's a bit of business there where people were like, oh, hey, we like, no, we want this. We want these payouts to happen. And Crafton, again, has said, we're going to make good on that. And then they haven't explained how they're going to do that. So we'll see. Hey, John Wick Hex is being removed in 72 hours from stores. So I'm shocked to find out that people liked that game because I think it's bad. I do not think that John Wick Hex is a good video game. I was disappointed with it and was bummed that I had pre-ordered it. But apparently, people like that game and were like spent like today. A decent chunk of my internet experience today was people being like, "Hey, if you never played it, you got to get it before it gets delisted." And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think that's true. Jesse says I own that game due to Humble Bundle. I never played it. Yeah, I mean, I just like didn't enjoy it. I did not find it to be a fun video game. So I was kind of like, I know that some people liked it when it came out, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there are ways to play it. Like, yeah, NetPrints, it basically just like, So also, it's the only video. There have been 2 John Wick video games. One was a VR title, which is now you can't buy anymore. And then there was this game, and that is Big Fan Games was just basically like, hey, it's going to remove from all platforms in 72 hours, beginning July 17th. And so if you want to buy, you can still buy it. And if you own it, you can still play it. But like I said, I just didn't think it was particularly that good. And it's not on sale because sometimes when a game is going to get pulled, they just put it on sale to see if, just to make any money because they're not going to make future money on the game, right? They either didn't want to do that or they are not in a position to do that due to licensing, perhaps. I don't know. That's just me making some conjecture there. I don't know. I do not have data on that. I don't know why this is suddenly like, why it's being delisted and why they're not doing a sale in timing of it. But yeah, I didn't think it was particularly good. I don't think I was, Jatsu, it's certainly a licensing issue for why it's being delisted. That's certainly true. But I don't know if it not going on sale first, like having a deep discount sale. I don't know if that is publisher licensing request or if it's just Big Fan Games or their publisher. We're just like, we're not going to worry about that because it's $20 if you want to buy it. But yeah, I didn't think it was particularly that good myself. So that's Blithell Games developed it, and the publisher was Big Fan Games. Yeah. Well, yeah, Jazzu, I don't think it's going to be lost media. It's existed already. It'll continue to exist. The reason I'm bringing it up isn't me saying, oh, you should get it because it's classic. Get it because, it's delisted, but once you own it, you can still download it again. No, I'm just saying, I was just shocked because people were like, oh, wait, this is a hidden gem. You got to get this while you can. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm just shocked. Lasper says, I played it for a small bit. I remember wishing the replays had embellished your movements rather than being a straight up replay of all your hex moves. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just like, I was just kind of like, oh, people really like this game? All right. The reviews for it are mixed. Yeah, like I'm sure that people that came into it that like the turn-based elements of it and thought the mood was good, which I do think that it was. I thought it was kind of neat, but I didn't enjoy playing it, and basically I sat down and played it for like an hour and went, okay, and then I never touched it again. And then a couple months later, I just got rid of it because I was like, oh, I actually don't want to play this. Turns out, I don't think I ever want to play it again. Like I liked it, and then I realized I didn't love it, and I never really wanted to go back to it, so I just never did. But yeah, I'm a little surprised to find out that people were super into it. But yeah, like I said, for those folks, I hope they pick it up. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought I would mention it because I was like, oh, that's kind of surprising. All right, added to the long list of games that have been delisted for sure. That list will increase consistently, unfortunately. It is a sad state of affairs, but that is unfortunately the way of the world. Like the first 360 Battlestar Galactica game. Yes. Often delisting games sometimes it's not worth it to them to like to remove the soundtrack and put a new soundtrack in. Sometimes they do want to do that work. Sometimes it is a licensed game and they don't want to renew, or their licensing partner do not want to renew it and they don't want to do anything with it, so it gets delisted. That is often the case. Sometimes it is because a company, a developer went out of business, or a publisher is getting out of publishing and rights haven't reverted back to the right people and all of that. We saw that with Adult Swim games. That was certainly a kerfuffle there, where it was just like, but we'll buy it from you. You're turning it like don't turn them off. Like press the button that gives us the game and all that. Like if you don't want this anymore, just give it to me. That becoming a nightmare. Just like we've unfortunately seen that quite a bit. One thing we haven't seen in a long time. This is not a good transition, but I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do this right now before we take a pause for the cause and I talk about ways you can support the channel and all that. I want to promote a thing that's happening this Saturday. Oh, there's the Shining Gundam. There it is. Here it is. Build with Bear Workshop's 8th anniversary stream is this Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will be celebrating by building the very first model kit that I built on stream. My very first stream as the Build with Bear Workshop, I worked on the Shining Gundam Master Grade. It is the reason why I own a small screwdriver, is because that kit had screws, and I didn't know that, and I was like, oh no. So that is the reason. I love that kit. It's a fun build. I bought it again. So basically I'm going to pause working on this kit. We'll keep working it tonight. We'll work on it on Thursday. Then it'll be paused. Then we're going to build this master grade, and then we'll go back to the Vidar. So I hope you join me on Saturday to celebrate 8 years of streaming, which is wild. I would not have imagined when I rented a room at my work's office and bought a webcam and bought a model kit and snipper clips and all that, and bought myself a lav mic that I would be still doing this. Would not have imagined that I'd still be doing this in 2025, but here we are. So that's this Saturday, working on the very first kit that I ever built on stream. Not the very first kit I ever built, but the first one I ever did on stream, which I thought would be kind of fucking neat to do that. So that's the plan. I hope you will join me for that, because it'll be real fun to work on that. Take a trip down memory lane. One of the nice things about having every fucking model kit building stream that I've ever done be on the internet still is that I just went and looked at the first one and said, all right, what did I build? And I looked at it and went, oh, okay, I built that. Great. So I know what I built, and we'll be able to talk about it on Saturday. And that's exciting for me. I'm very happy about that. And I hope you can join me for that stream, because it'll be a good time. reminisce. I'll talk about the various locations that I have built stuff in. I'll try to answer, like, if you have questions about my 8 years, but I'll try to talk about, like, the weirdest place that I ever built model kits for this stream. Like, where's the weirdest place I ever streamed out of? Like, talk about all the Airbnbs I've streamed out of, and the hotels, and all of that. You know, like, just kind of chat about that, the history of it, you know, going from 1 stream a week to 2 streams and building out time and all the good stuff, I think. We'll talk about all of that on Saturday. It'll be a nice little retrospective on 8 years. And we'll talk, I guess, probably in that about the future, perhaps. But right now, what's going to happen is I'm going to talk to you. That's right, you. About ways that you can support me and what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk to you is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things, of course. Why would you be obliged? But if you would like to help me out financially, you can, and there are various ways to do that. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote into chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here, through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. So if you are a subscriber, you can throw those emotes in there so I can see it and go, oh yeah, hey, there's some subscribers. We love to see them. There are a variety of ways to support me. Of course, you could gift a sub to somebody in the community. If you want to gift a sub, you could do that. Bits and coins, also always appreciated. If you do not want to become a subscriber, there are other ways to support me financially. If you don't want to go through Twitch, you can go to my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. There's also my YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you can, of course, subscribe there for free. If you want to become a member for just $2 a month, you get to see my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you'll get a video tomorrow that other people have to wait till Wednesday to see. So if you want to know more about, like, my favorite shows from last season, well, you'll find out another one of those tomorrow. So you can watch that. Those are monthly ways to support me. If you just want to throw something in a tip jar, you could do that. I've got a Ko-Fi and I got a PayPal. So if you just want to throw me a little tip, a little bit, because you don't want to do monthly, you can do that. Everything I make through direct donations, through ads, YouTube, so I should say, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits. And that works out pretty damn good. I have a backlog of stuff. Right now, I am building something that was sent to me. So thank you very much for sending that, DSHS. I appreciate you very much for sending that out. But I've got other stuff that I could be working on in the future. And if you don't have to mail me something. There's an easier way to do it. If you want to decide what I build next, you want to get me something in the summer, you can go to my Amazon wish list page, and then you can buy something from there. It'll come to me in the mail. I'll make a dedicated YouTube video about the thing you purchased called a mailbag video, like I did for the Vidar. And then it'll jump the queue and be the next thing that I build. I got model kits and Lego sets. I got a jigsaw puzzle in there, a bunch of things, all kinds of stuff that I would love to work on. Some cool looking Lego. I don't have any Lego in my backlog. If you want me to work on Lego in the future, you could do that by buying something for me to build, and I'd be happy to do it. But yeah, I got some Lego, I got some model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. The G-Quux is on this list, as seen by Iris from HoloLive. Iris, this was Iris's first Gunpla. And I was like, ooh, there's probably some weird angles on that kit. I don't know about that. I mean, they made high grades easier than ever before, but I was like, oh man, start with an entry grade, Iris. It was very fun because she had multiple people helping her, none of whom had experience with it, which is pretty funny. Yeah, I got model kits, Lego sets, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, all kinds of things and things. If you see something there you'd like to see me put together, you can do that. And buy it if you want to. If you don't want to buy something on Amazon, I fucking get it. You can go to Throne. There is a wish list on Throne. See if there's something there that strikes your eye. And if you want to support me financially, the most convoluted way possible, you go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. they will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch, or a DM on Twitter, or Blue Sky, or Mastodon with that gift card code. And with that gift card code, I will use it to buy something from USA Gundam Store. That's my promise to you. I will use the USA Gundam Store gift card to buy something from USA Gundam Store. And you could even make a suggestion like, oh, you should buy this, Pat, if you wanted to. Yeah. Lashberg says, I ended up watching that stream too, ended up being kind of awkward since they kept having to take the gloves off, so large parts of it were just a shot of a box on a desk. Yes. A high grade of that caliber, that kind of high grade, requires some fine motor control, which you can't really do wearing gloves, which these VTubers do wear because you ain't seen hand. You're not going to see the hand. It is an element of, it's not because they're breaking the illusion. Some VTubers do show hands, whatever. But they don't, because there's just a lot of weirdos in the world, and they're trying to be cool, and keep on the down low. And yeah, also they're just creeps. There are lots of creeps. So they wear gloves. And there are probably gloves that are good for building model kits in, but that they weren't wearing them. Yeah, it's rough out there. Got to work on an entry grade. Probably a little easier to do that. Anyway, we're gonna talk very briefly about my Discord. I got a Discord. You're welcome to come hang out there. If you want to hang out in my Discord, come hang out on the Discord. It's a lovely place. We would be happy to have you there. It's not a creepy place there. Pat Baer's Anime Club, I'll have a new episode up next week, but this week, please watch my video about all of the isekai that is out this season, including a show that people are like, that shouldn't count because it's not an anime. And it's like, fuck you, it's an anime. Ended up making me try to find a Quarks locally, no success. Probably just, or a Quarks, skip the stickers and go for paint marker instead. Yeah, hopefully you'll find it someday, Lashbrook. It's on Amazon. At some point, I'm probably just going to buy it. I'm waiting for a check to come through. And then also, because I just got money from Twitch, from y'all. Thank you very much. As you might imagine from having a subathon last month where I got 90 subscribers, it was a pretty good amount of money came through, even with the discounts in there, because we did the discount on 5 or more. So that came through. But I gotta get a check to clear, and then I'll be able to probably pick up that Quarks, probably. Also, Kuma Baer, my weekly anime recommendation video. Apocalypse Hotel fucking ruled. It was sad at parts, very funny at parts, very melancholy is the term I would use for it. It's a lovely series. I think it got overlooked because the spring anime season was jam-packed with good stuff. If you were looking for something kind of fun that like has a really dark premise to it, I think it's great, and you should watch Apocalypse Hotel. Watch the 1-minute video where I gush about it. But yes, I also need to buy that the G Quarks. I do need to get that kit, or G Quarks, however you want to call it. Eventually, G Quarksu. I eventually do want to get it. All right, so we are going to go to the overhead camera. I'm going to continue to work on this model kit. I'm going to drink some water. We're going to talk about anime that I've been watching, and we're going to do all of that right now. All right. We're going to talk about... Oh, I got to put the right thing in here. Sorry, I didn't do the right thing. I got to do anime. Anime. We're going to talk about the third and, for me, final episode of Private Tutor to the Duke's Daughter. I don't want to watch this show anymore. I did watch all of episode 3. I gave it 3. Will I watch episode 4 on my own in the future? Maybe. Will I watch it for next Monday's stream? No, I won't. I didn't like this show. I think the premise was fun of this guy who's like didn't get into grad school. So he gets conscripted to go and be a private tutor, and then he gets there and finds out also you have to tutor this other girl who's there, and then also the girl that you have to tutor is bad at magic, can't seem to use it, and then also her dad doesn't want her studying magic and doesn't want you to be good at your job. And it's like, okay. So Alan is our main character. There's also other stuff going on with him and his childhood friend, and it's a whole thing, and we're not sure what's going on with that, where basically it's very unclear if he told her that he was leaving, that he was taking this job or not. It seemed kind of rushed, and maybe somebody was trying to mess with them. We're not sure. Alan makes a decision. He's going to link his mana with Tina, which is a process that gets a little too creepy in a way that I did not like, that I was worried about this show from the jump, because it was just like a guy who seems pretty okay starts hanging out with a lot of young ladies who he is in charge of, and what's going on with this? It got a little creepy in a way I didn't enjoy. He takes control of her mana and finds that, oh wow, she's got a lot of fucking mana. It's weird that she can't cast magic. But her spell was going out of control because her emotions were out of control. So he kind of that's why he's doing this, and he didn't want to. He meets this inside of her mind. There is a bird, an ice bird. And he makes a deal with the ice bird to help out. And then she doesn't go on a rampage. So the library gets damaged, so they have to move to another place. This time Tina can produce more ice than she did previously. She is better at it. Something happened and she's had a bit of a breakthrough. And also there is a lot of, he finds a bunch of books in the library that are all about the ice magic that she uses. Like someone has been leaving books around. And so something is afoot, and he doesn't know who is secretly helping him, but somebody's helping him. Then we find out that Walter, the father, is like, hey, just so you know, I've decided Tina cannot take the exam. And we find out that this book that Tina had, or this book that was meant for Tina that he discovered, is actually belonged to Tina's late mother, and that the mother fully intended for her daughter to one day go to the academy, obviously, which is a leap in logic, but sure. And this dude is just, this dad is being overprotective and needs to lighten up clearly and get it together. And so then Walter's just like, fine, Tina can take the exam if she successfully has a duel against a sorcerer of his choosing. And I wonder if that's going to be Alan or some shit. I don't know what it's going to be. This just fucking is annoying, and I don't like it. I did not enjoy this. There was something fun about the premise, but I honestly think it's the strict dad who clearly isn't a villain. He's just a guy that can't relate to his daughter and is so overprotective of her. And there's also like a secret that we don't know that will be revealed in episode 10, I'm sure, at some point. So it's just like, I just don't care. I think when it comes right down to it, I was watching a bunch of this and I'm like, oh, I guess I don't give a shit. And I need to care about it if I'm going to keep watching it. And because I don't care about it, I've instead made the executive decision to not watch it anymore. So this will be the last time that I tell you about Private Tutor to the Duke's Daughter. But I did watch 2 episodes of another show, one of which I think I liked quite a bit more. And I was excited to have the possibility to talk to you about it. So let's talk a little bit about that show, which is called Ruri Rocks. This is also on Crunchyroll. This is a show that seemed kind of cute and fun. This is about a girl that got really into geology. And I was like, yeah, I think this seems neat. I watched the first 2 episodes. That's all that's out. And I liked what I saw. And so I'll give you the briefest of descriptions of those 2 episodes. I'm not going to go point for point, but I'm just going to give the overview. And just like, if I think, I'm going to keep watching it or not, I'll give you the play-by-play on that so you can figure that stuff out. Ruri is our main character. She's a girl in college, or high school, I should say. She wants a necklace made of quartz. She cannot afford such a thing. And so she decides that she's going to go get her own quartz. I think she's just adventurous. I don't think she's an idiot. I don't think she's dumb. I just think that she's just like a go-getter. But she's just like, well, if I want a quartz a point necklace and I can't afford quartz, then the obvious solution is to go get me some quartz. And when she's doing that, she finds someone named Nagi, who is she is a geologist. She is a graduate student geologist, and she has what is described by Ruri as a very cool car. She just seems like a cool adult, and she's got a warhammer that she uses for sampling, and she seems like both very professional and weirdly horny. So there's that. And Ruri gets herself a quartz cluster and learns about a lot about quartz from her new friend Nagi. And there's a lot about this. We learn about erosion and tectonic plate. It's like we learn so much about this because they were like, we want you to know, person watching this, that this is a girls doing things show. It is a show about girls doing stuff and liking things. But also, we are going to tell you fucking facts about garnet. Like, you're going to learn about garnet. You're going to learn about, like, plate tectonics. I just wrote down a lot of talk of plate tectonics in my notes. Erosion, and then, like, and then by the end of it, Ruri's like, I don't really want this quartz. I don't need a quartz necklace. What I want is a rock hammer, or a geologist hammer or whatever. So in this one interaction that Ruri has, she decides, actually, this shit fucking rules and I want to do this. I want to be a geologist. Which is cool. Again, we do not know a hell of a lot about her, but we do know that she, like, found something she wants to do and is gonna fucking do it. And that thing is geology. Let me just make sure I'm doing this correctly. I think I did this right. I'll find out later if I did parts of this wrong, but I think I did this correctly. Oh, then I need D1, 3. More of these little things. First episode, very fun. I immediately watched the second episode. I think Ruri's energy is very fun. There is like a laid back camp style to this. It's not a 1-to-1 by any means, but there is a vibe there of like kind of girl who's a little silly, a little goofy, but like really dedicated, and then the girl who is knowledgeable. But it's like, instead of there being 5 girls that want to camp, there's like one geologist who is several characters. There are going to be other girls. Don't worry about it. But yeah, right off the bat, I was like, okay, I'm into it. Episode 2 of Ruri Rocks. Ruri Rocks. Let me just find the piece I need here. I'm gonna put this in like that. Okay. There's a reflection coming here from my overhead lights that I'm having trouble seeing. Okay, and then this goes like that. And then it just goes down right here. Snaps right in. Great. So now we got these cool, like, I love these. I love all of them. They all look rad. And then not that. All right. So we're gonna do the shoulder armor or the shoulder. Yeah, we're doing the shoulders next. We have now done parts of the arms, and then we're gonna do the parts of the shoulder armor here. We'll get all that together, and then we can start putting together the arms, the right arms and the left arm. All right, episode 2. Ruri gets gold fever. Basically, Nagi, there's some time is transported here or taking place, but basically, our girl is just really interested in the idea of becoming a geologist and really wants to learn more. So, Nagi takes her to the gold prospecting district to pan for gold, and then Ruri is a natural with a rock hammer. She's very skilled at that, using the rock hammer. But the stones, she's not doing like the water panning, because they're geologists. So she's doing rock splitting, looking for gold veins and all that. But she's just finding pyrite. And they do a test to check it for it, and they're like, "Yeah, this ain't actual gold, girl. You're not finding real gold." But they do find a crystal with a weird shape, and a good chunk of this episode is them discussing what's up with this crystal, and it got very technical. Basically, they're talking about like the difference between cash value and scientific value, and I found this to be genuinely pretty fucking dope. This was a pretty cool explanation of just being like, well, yeah, it probably doesn't have a street value, but it has a scientific curiosity value, and it might be like worth looking at, or it might be worth like, it might not ever actually be worth anything, but it's pretty fucking cool. I don't know. Like I said, I thought this was kind of goddamn neat as a premise here. So I put 37 there, 36 on this side. And then they do pan for gold after they gave up on that. Again, long conversation that I thought was like kind of fucking dope and also a little wild for episode 2 of a show, but sure. So they do pan for gold in a stream, and after it rains, turns out they do a better job once it rains. And then they search around, they find even more gold, and eventually they find a nugget. And the episode ends with Ruri deciding she'd rather keep the nugget than sorry, hold on one second. She'd rather keep the nugget than sell it because it's got sentimental value to it. So that earlier discussion about cash value and scientific value, also there's a third component, which is sentimental value, which was neat. Again, a pretty cool little episode. I'm really painting with broad strokes because this is a cozy. This is one of those. This is a cozy show about a girl learning all about geology from an expert. There will be more girls. There will be more discoveries. There will be shenanigans here and there, but this is cozy vibes. It immediately felt good. This show, like, immediately I was like, yeah, all right. I think next week I'll probably talk about Sakamoto Days, part 2, because the first episode came out of that, so I'll probably just do that. And I think I'm going to cover Sakamoto Days and Ruri Rocks, and I think that'll be my Monday. I think that's going to be my Monday. My Thursday is probably still City and New Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. Although it is weird to, again, I'm going to feel weird about it. I might replace City with something else. I love City. First episode ruled, but it's weird to just go over the plot of a weird comedy. And then Saturdays, I'll talk about Water Magician and Secrets of the Silent Witch. I think I'll keep covering that. I liked the first episode. We'll see. Water Magician, I know I am covering because I'm just head over heels for that show. It's just been such a fucking great adaptation so far of a manga I really like. I'm just getting to the part in the manga now where it's slowing down a bit in a way that I'm not thrilled about, but that was natural. That was bound to happen. They just introduced a bunch of like it's the manga went from being pretty straightforward to now throwing in some curveballs and some twists in ways that I was like, I'm not here for this. I'm not super here for these shenanigans. Yeah, I was a little bummed. They're just throwing in a few things that I was like, I don't know. They introduced a bunch of characters without really explaining who they were, and then we found out later they're important, and it's like, okay, all right, I don't know. I'll get over it. But yeah, that's the anime I've been watching. I mean, I'm watching other stuff. Don't get me wrong. Dan to Dan started off pretty strong. I haven't watched Sakamoto Days yet, but I will watch it for next week. But I watched the OP. I saw the opening for it, and that song is good. New Dan to Dan is good as well. Yeah, there's a few things that I'm watching that I'm just not covering. You Mean the Rain, or I think is lovely, but I'm not covering that. Yeah, so there's a few things that I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get to all of it soon, but there is some good. Hey, weirdly enough, there's some good anime out there. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. That's right, you, about what you're up to, what you're into, what you got going on, what you're watching right now, what you're reading, what you're listening to. I'm listening to new clips. It's fucking dope as shit. Some real good stuff. There was some stuff that was leaked from it a while back, and it's better than the leak, and that's great. That album fucking rules. But yeah, what are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on? Let me know, because I like hearing from you about that stuff. I will say that I have been prepping for tomorrow's stream. I have 2 new Hearthstone decks that I really like, and I am working on a 3rd deck that I would like to show off from the new expansion that focuses on the new expansion. I do not know if I will have 3 to actually show tomorrow. What I can say for sure is I will have 2 new decks that I like, and then I will have 1 deck that I've been playing a lot, but has some cards in it that I think are good for it. My big Shaman deck, I think some new cards in that deck are working really well. But yeah, I've got a low deck, and I've got a Quest Hunter deck that I've been enjoying. So I've got a few things up my sleeve as far as that. But I would like to, hopefully get 1 more new deck in there. Something new. I want to use something with that Death Rattle card. The Umbra. The new Umbra card is really fun, and I'm looking for like a new something with that. There's got to be something. I had a deck for a little while, but I'm looking for another one of them. Yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying my time with Hearthstone right now. I played Nubby's Number Factory today. I just won with an unlocked Tony that I was very fucking excited about, because it's a difficult Tony. At the start of it, all of the triggers for your items are randomized. And that's hard, because sometimes they're items I really like, but the conditions to use them are terrible. And there's like good conditions for things that I like normally wouldn't use. And I'm like, oh, well, I would normally wouldn't use that, but now it makes sense. But even then, it's still not good. And that one was tough, but I had a good time with that. Oh, hey, I'm John. I'll read what you wrote in there in just a moment. But let me just get my thoughts out. So yeah, I have to finish that. Or sorry, not finish that. I have more. There's still, I think, one or two more Tonys, which are game modifiers that I need to unlock. And so my goal right now is to unlock all the Tonys, and then after I unlock all the Tonys, win with all the Tonys. I've won with all the ones that I have unlocked, but I want to win with every Tony. And then I'll probably take a break from the game. But I want to win. I want to unlock every Tony and win with every Tony. The one where you well, I don't really care about the one where you win and then you prestige, but that's like the final Tony, and I kind of don't give a shit about that one. But I do want to win with it. I want to prestige with it, I guess. I really want to. I want to unlock next the black market items can appear in the shop, so you can get regular black market items outside of the black market. You have to buy them, but I'm like, that sounds interesting. I want to see how that works. I'd like to, because I think you could do some really interesting things with that if you have access to those consistently. As long as you're getting a good gold score, you could do some real nonsense with that. All right, we are almost done with the shoulders, and then of course we have to panel line them. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say before I start reading what y'all wrote. I mean, I could say other things after that. Yeah, I'm just getting ready for Hearthstone. That's tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. That'll be fun. Please come hang out for that as I play some, tomorrow night playing some cool Hearthstone stuff, showing off the new deck because there's a new expansion. And when there's a new expansion, I like to stream it. I don't do it all the time, but I do it often. I do like to stream the new silly decks. No new cards for my Death Rattle deck. That I was bummed about that. But yeah, there are no new cards because the Umbra I don't want like just 5 random Death Rattles to go off. I want to build a big board. Yeah, it might fit in that deck, but I feel like it doesn't really make any sense to put it in there. I was like, I don't really need a bunch of those Death Rattles to go off. Maybe I do. Maybe I should try to put that in there. But then I'm like, is that Umbra? I think that Umbra is a neutral card. I can't remember. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'll try it out. Maybe we'll test it. We'll do a version of that deck with the Umbra in it, and we'll try it out tomorrow. Maybe. John says, started watching Call of the Night, Secret of the Silent Witch, and there's no freaking way I'll be your lover unless, and playing Pokemon Arceus. Yeah, I have not tried There's No Freaking Way I'll Be Your Lover. There are other romantic comedy shows that I'm more interested in right now. Gamer Girl, Culture Exchange, the Gamer Girl is really cute. I'm enjoying that. I don't know if there was there any other romance? Call of the Night is a romance in many ways. Secrets of the Silent Witch. I enjoyed the first episode of that. I'm gonna keep watching that. I think I bounced off the manga, but I'm gonna try more of the manga, or more of the anime, I should say. I liked it. I'm gonna keep watching it, I think. But yeah, we'll panel line this. There's just a bunch of stuff out there that I'm not even talking about. I haven't watched that one of the girls that meet at the cafeteria. I haven't checked that one out yet. I've heard that I've only heard from one person I know who said that the animation was bad. That was really bad, the animated. So I haven't watched that one yet, but I do want to check it out. There's just a lot this season. Call of the Night, I might end up just watching later and not watching it weekly, because I did finish the first season of Call of the Night, but I don't remember it at all. I gotta refresh. I don't remember where it left off. But visually, fucking stunning. Lashmer says, I went and saw Superman today, and that is hands down the best Supes movie we've had in decades. Hell yeah, great to hear that. I'm glad you had a good time at it. They finally let him be a corny force for good. Nice. I was also checking out new anime yesterday, and I'm really intrigued by Gachakuda so far. Yeah. I know a couple people who are really into that series, and we're super psyched about the anime being announced. And I have not seen it yet, because it did not seem like something I wanted to watch. but I have heard very good things about it, so I don't know. Maybe I will check it out at some point. And folks, if you haven't seen City yet, please watch the first episode of City. It fucking rules. It's my favorite show so far. It's only been one episode, but god damn it, I fucking love that episode. Lord Crash says, I beat one of the games I got from the Steam sale. It's called Spilled. You control a boat soaking up spilled oil in rivers and such that gets progressively big that you sell for cash to buy bigger tanks and other stuff for your ship to do better until you reach the end and sink a big oil tanker for the final boss. It's only about an hour long or so, and it's fun, chill time. Yeah, that does sound fun. So you're sinking boats so that you can then suck up the oil? That sounds awful for the environment. But you are taking down oil tankers, and that sounds good for the environment. Long term. All right, yeah, that sounds fun. I'm glad you had a good time with it. Yeah, I haven't picked up anything new or played anything new in a while. I got a game that I will be streaming a week from tomorrow that eventually I have to play. I have to play Islanders New Tide at some point and check it out. We're going to play it on stream, but I probably should at some point look at the game, see what's up. I do have a bunch of stuff ready for the last Tuesday of the month, because that's coming up where I'll be talking about, I'll be talking over some wrestling. So I will say, we got some time here. You're clearing up their leftover oil mess until you reach the end and sink a boat to obviously stop all the leaks for good. I gotcha. So, not that we're done anything, but we are coming on the, we've done more stream than we got to come. I should at least say, I think the real test will be tomorrow while playing Hearthstone. I think it'll be fine, but so far, 60 frames a second, I haven't noticed anything. Nothing feels weird about it. But we're at 60 instead of 30, and I don't know, I guess I'm glad we're doing that. True 60 frames. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how I'll find out how big a file this local recording is, if that changes that, and if it takes longer for it to upload. Processing doesn't mean anything because it just fucking takes forever to process once in a while on YouTube's end. That's fine. But if it takes longer to upload it, that's also fine. I don't care. Unless it's like really long time, in which case then I'll just start doing the exporting of the VOD, which I don't like to do because I like to do this version because sometimes the VOD has, fluctuations and stuff. Whereas the local recording is usually pretty solid. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll all be okay. I don't know. But I want to try it out. I wanted to see if my current setup would work fine at 60. And I'm using a couple more percentages of my CPU, but like very low still. We'll find out tomorrow when I play Hearthstone, which is not an intensive game. But we'll see if that gets a little bit more wonky. I don't think it will, but it could. But yeah, now I'm all figuring that all out. We'll get these shoulders done here, and then we can start putting together some of the arms here. Get that going together. We got a little time left. Yeah, as far as the rest of the week, we'll be doing this on Thursday. I have Hearthstone tomorrow, as I said. On Saturday, we take a break from this. If you missed it, I'll tell you right now that I will be working on the Shining Gundam. The Shining Gundam, which is, of course, the first kit I ever built on stream. So we're going back to that. Going to work on the very first kit I ever built this Saturday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Obviously, I will not finish it this Saturday, so we will finish that up, and then we'll come back to the Vidar, which we'll be working on the Vidar on Thursday as well. Don't forget that. But we will pause the Vidar and come back to it after I get in on. Oh, you hadn't seen Call of the Night before, and you're still finishing up season 1. Oh, nice, yeah. Like I said, I ended up kind of like. I didn't fall out of love with it, but I did slow down on watching it, and I didn't watch it weekly, finishing it up. I kind of just waited for a bunch of it to come out and then kind of finished my thoughts on it there. But I do think it's fucking gorgeous. It's a goddamn gorgeous show. It's unbelievably beautiful looking. Just like ridiculous. All right, it looks like the hand here is a little bit detailed, so that's okay. So we're gonna do that. We got to do that. Then we got to put all the armor on it. Then when the armor is done, we can then put the shoulder on, and then the final piece, the shoulder, which is armor, and then we can lock the hand in. But we can at least do this on that piece so that we can then, yeah. We can put that piece in there just when we find it. All right, let's work on the hand here. We got some time left on the stream, so let's try to get at least one of these hands done. It's a master grade. They're usually pretty detailed, so I'm not surprised that this is going to have a lot of stuff for us to do. Whoop. Drop the sprue. I gotta fucking mow the lawn tomorrow. Goddamn summer. Tomatoes are doing good. Update on that. Tomatoes looking real good. More plants were purchased. Not my guy. I did not know that my dad was going to buy more tomato plants, but he did. But they're looking good out there. We're harvesting some tomatoes, mostly cherry, but some patios came through. Patios are looking good, so that's all happening. But yeah, I got to mow tomorrow, and I'm not a big fan of that. I did a little bit yesterday of lawn care edging. Using a tool called an edger to clean up where the grass meets the sidewalk on the side of our house, side path. So I used that. That was fine. I'm pretty okay with it. But yeah, using the weed whacker to whack the weeds and do all that. And then I just got to get the mower out. No, I don't really want to because I don't enjoy how fucking bad I feel after I mow. I just feel terrible. I take an allergy pill. I wear a mask, a breathing mask, and I still feel bad after the fact, which is frustrating. All right, we'll do 37. We'll do 37 because we like having the claws out. We'll get the big claw. Eventually, I want this to hold weapons because when I build the weapons, I want to hold the weapon. So eventually, I'll have to swap out a different hand, but we'll just do the claws first because they do look cool as hell. And I need A39 and then A54. Got A54 first, and then an A39. Yeah, I mean, when I planned to do my, I planned out, I'll say this. When I planned out that I was like, you know what, my 8th anniversary is coming up pretty soon. I'd like, for my 8th streaming anniversary, it's coming up. I'd like to do something for that. And I was trying to think about what I could do, and I was like, oh, well, I could, revamp a bunch of stuff, or, I was like, I actually don't really want to. Yes, I could get better art for my logo. My logo is just clip art, but I don't really care about that. I was like, oh, I could, this was months ago. I was like, oh, I could get some new emotes made, and I was like, kind of want a better reason than just that for that. So I was like, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm good on that. And then I was like, wait, what can I buy? The first kit that I ever built on stream? And the answer is, yeah, of course I can. I can do that. No problem. It's not a hard thing to do. It's just, do I want to do that? And the answer was, yes, I do want to do that. So the Shining Gundam is the first kit I built on stream. And actually, I bought it on Amazon, turns out. I couldn't remember if I had gotten it at a local store or if I just got it on Amazon. I bought it on Amazon because it said last purchased July 2020, 2017. So I did buy it then, which is to me very funny that I did pick it up there on Amazon. It was probably the beginning of July because I'd been thinking about doing it for a while. And yeah, and then I think it's 3 weeks later, I qualified for affiliate because I had enough out. Maybe it was a month later I qualified for affiliate, but like by the end of August, or maybe it was October. I can't remember. I can't remember when my first. I can't remember. It'll come up. I think it's either August or October. But like, I became affiliate pretty quickly after that. Like, it did not take long for me to hit affiliate status, which was like, at the time I was like, hell yeah. People can subscribe. And immediately it was like, oh shit. It happened faster than I thought it would because I was like, I do not have an emote ready. I did not have an emote prepared. But I got Bear Cave. Basically, I was like, hey, can you make this an emote, this art that you already are working on for me? And then Sandra said, yes, I can do that. And then I have continued to ask Xandra for art ever since. It's been a while. Me as Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan was the last one that she did. My fourth one. 4 in 8 years is not that many, but they're very good. So I haven't really felt the need to like dramatically improve. I have never wanted to retire any of them, right? Like I'm still building model kits and Lego sets. There's not a lot of Dragon Ball stuff to build. I kind of ran out of it. There's new stuff. There's Daima stuff that I will eventually build. It's on my wish list. If you want to buy it for me to build, you could do that. But eventually I will I will build more. So it's like, I'm still building Lego sets. I'm still building model kits. We're still in the bear cave. I don't want to replace any emotes. None of them like I felt like bad about or anything. So it's like, let's keep all of them. Eventually I will add another one, but I don't know when that'll be. It might be like, I don't know, beginning of the year or around my birthday next year. I don't know. It's a ways away. But eventually I will add another one. I don't know if I'm ever going to get animated emotes. I don't think that's something I want to go down, but I do want to do another emote at some point. I don't know. This talk I should save for Saturday so I can be really reflective of what's going on instead of talking about it now. I'm wasting it. I'm wasting all the stuff I could be saying later. All right, so this goes like this. Oops. Sorry, buddy. Nope, does that not go there? Where does this go? Is this hand armor? Nope. Doesn't go there. Why did it? Oh, they put a hand in here, and then they're like armor, like what? Where do you want this to go? There it is. It's got a snap in. I was like, I don't know why isn't this working? And it was because they needed a snap in. It feels silly, but sure. This goes like that, and then this goes like that. And then there's one other little piece here. It's got to go. That, and it'll make more sense later why that looks like that. I think this is right. Oops. He says as it falls off. I think this is right, and then I'll know after if this is wrong because the other armor won't fit in right there properly, but I believe I've done this correctly. But yeah, we will continue. I am going to do what I did on the previous streams, where I'm going to circle what I need to do next, which is this step here, because it's really detailed, and it's sometimes a little hard to see right away. Hey, what did I do? I did all that. I didn't do these eye pieces here, so I got to do that next. Okay. But we got a lot done. We got some shoulders done. We did the arms. We did the head. So yeah, we finished the chest. We did the head. We did the shoulder armor, and we did the arms, and we're on our way. Good. A lot more left of this build. Well, we'll continue that build on Thursday. But we're going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find someone doing something cool out there on the internet and go hang out with them. It's a Monday. Last Monday, we did not raid Mary Kish, but we are going to raid Mary. As John says, we always end with a raid. Mary Kish is out there doing things, so we're going to go hang out with her because it's been a while. Because like I said, last week we went to go hang out with my friend Rara. Vectroid is back to streaming, so wanted to hang out with her. But yeah, Mary is playing Maze Mics, so we'll go hang out with Mary on there. Reminder, my next stream is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time, where I, of course, we will go and we will go check out the wonderful world of Hearthstone, see what's new in the new expansion, check out anything new in there. It basically Kindred and new quests. We'll check that out. You derailed the stream at the start to get her check out the Uma Musume for a bit. Oh boy. Yeah, no gotcha for Pat. So you will not be seeing coverage of that from your friend Pat, because I don't want it. But we'll go hang out. We'll play some video games next time. That's tomorrow, 9 p.m. Hopefully you come back for that. Come along on this raid. Mary Kish is the best. We'll have fun over there. I'll see you in the next stream. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.